Rochelle, the Army is to be commended for very likely achieving its accelerated manpower growth by the end of the year. Also, I've been very impressed by the significant resources for the Wounded Warrior Program. I've had the opportunity to see the facilities, the dedicated personnel, particularly at Walter Reed, at Bethesda, at Moncrief Hospital at Fort Jackson. It's wonderful to see the attention given to our heroes. But with the objective of 547,400, what is the status of providing for deploying units and maintaining proper personnel for such crucial programs as the Wounded Warrior Program?
Thank you for your question, Ranking Member Wilson. We are absolutely committed to our wounded warriors. As I said in my oral statement, and as you will certainly have, may have already found in my written statement, that's a commitment that's immutable. Our Frago number 4, which was recently staffed, will move us closer to being able to take our wounded warriors from our reserve components as well as our active components and move them closer to family member or to home, thus reducing the strain on the facilities and the infrastructure of which you spoke, but at the same time providing a better environment for the soldier in which to heal. Today, our wounded warrior population is down from a high of roughly 12,000 active guard and reserve to 9,000 and declining even further, both as we ramp up and continue to provide the best medical care we can, the best medical care on the planet to our wounded warriors. With respect to readiness, we will continue to ensure through active retention, which I spoke in my oral statements, as well as recruiting, to provide our deployers with the qualified soldiers, the best trained, best equipped, and best led to serve on our front lines.
Additionally, General Coleman, the success of the Army, success of the Marine Corps in achieving the end strength of 202,000, and nothing's more inspiring than going to Fort Jackson or to Parris Island to see the young people graduating, to see the families and the success. But is 202,000 sufficient for the threats that our country faces in the future?
Yes, sir. We believe that as when General Conway, the Commandant, came on board, what he wanted to do was right-size the Marine Corps. And we felt that 202,000 was the right size, the right number to right-size the Marine Corps, to allow us to do the things that we aren't able to do right now as we fight the war in Iraq and Afghanistan. As we get to that number, we feel that 2002 is in fact the correct number to allow us to fight and train for the next fight.
And for both of you, I'd like to commend you on what's being done for families. With the highest percentage ever of married troops, families are truly given a priority: housing, schools, daycare. Thank you for what you've done. For Admiral Ferguson and General Newton, the Navy and the Air Force end strength, there's been a decline over the years prior to 2008, but now there's an increase in end strength, and the question would be, should the end strength, should manpower be increased, or should there be more emphasis on modernization? And if each of you could answer that.
Representative Wilson, the challenge that all the services face, and the Navy in particular, is that we have to balance the capitalization and replacement of equipment with operations and maintenance costs and depot maintenance, as well as repairs to existing, as well as the people accounts. And so when we looked at our end strength about 6-8 months ago, we assessed that due to the increased demands that were placed on us for the joint force for enablers, that we decided to flatten out our descent and to stabilize. And we assessed that approximately 329,000 or so in the foreseeable future will provide us that adequate support where we can meet the joint force requirements and the operational force.
And sir, also in the United States Air Force, it's a balanced approach. We have, as as we put forth in our proposed end strength of 330,000, the issue is not so much the end strength, that's important enough, but also how we're going to shape that force and to compel that force to do what in support of the joint warfighter. We've put our priorities in terms of providing intelligence and surveillance and reconnaissance capabilities as we reinvigorate the nuclear enterprise, towards irregular warfare, towards bringing back some more of our maintenance, particularly on our flight lines and so forth. And so as we look towards this end strength, it's also how are we going to shape that force, again, over not only for the current fight, but for future fights as well. And so it is indeed a balanced approach.
And thank you all.